been a little while since I made a video, and what I want is check in about jibes. Like, if you're like me, you've been foiling for a while, and just that getting over that hump of the jibe, getting that jibe dialed in. I'm going to be going down to Texas. I'm going to go into these perfect environments, which is pretty rare because where I live, you know, storms come through. You just don't get the opportunity to really learn and practice that much. So in preparation for that, scouring the internet, which I've been doing, and I'm sure you have too, about jibe evaluations. And everyone that I've seen has been, or almost everyone I've seen has been about, you know, the mistakes that you do, and they're given by professionals who are really good at it. So you look at it and you go, yeah, okay, I get it. That's what it looks like when a professional does it, and they know what they're doing, and they're trying to talk you through it. But what I found a little while ago was this video of a guy, and it was a great drone footage of him going through the jibe, setting up with a jibe. And one of the best eval videos I've seen is from this Wingfoil Pro Center. I'll put a link in there about 3 mistakes that are being done. I think these are really critical. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through this. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to start walking through it. The 3 ones are not committing to the turn. The other one is sheeting out too soon and depowering and losing it. And the third one is trying to grab the backhand too soon. So what you're about to see is a really low budget video edits is like 0. I put the camera right in front of the other computer and I just talk along underneath it as I scroll through my YouTube video from before. I just want to get free-flowing thought going there, get the conversation going. If you liked what I said or you got comments that are different from what I said, let me know, put them in the comments below. This is based on information I found out on this one, which I think is a great one. It's Damien Leroy and Gwen Latouture. I'm not sure if that's how I pronounce his name. I'll put a link to this in the video, but I want to jump right in because what he talks about is great, but being able to see it is another thing. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I don't know the sailor's name, but I know that it was in South Padre Island. And we're going to get to see the three big mistakes, and you're going to get to see where issues go wrong. And so if you don't agree with me, cool. You know, if you agree with me, awesome. So put your comments in the comments here. This is a little better. And this is low tech, but I want to get it out there because people are already looking at the raw footage. So he's going to be going into this jibe. And a couple things I think about when I look at this is it was pretty windy. He's overpowered at times, I think. So that'll have some impact on it. So let me take it from the beginning. We're going to be looking at during this one is the 3 things that I was seeing in another video, which is not committing to the turn, not committing to the toe side, sheeting out too soon, and grabbing the wing too quickly. And there's another one which is about pitch control that's also an issue. So as we get into the jibe here, this drone is awesome too. So we're getting, okay, here we go. I'm going to just back up a little bit. So he's looking pretty good through here, but one thing to look at right here that I see, let me back it up a little bit. Actually, I'm going to do it this way instead. Let's go that way. Okay. Right here, he's starting to lean back, and the whole time he's kind of leaning back towards the back of the board. And you're going to see that, and a lot of people are saying, you know, keep your weight balanced over it and don't you cling to this guy as much. So he's pulling in with the backhand. You're going to see this weight towards the stern and on the outside. The other thing I look at is the angle of the board, and then we're going to look at a lot of pitch control too. So going into it, he's starting to go into the turn here, and look right there. His weight's back. We got the knees bent. He's kind of towards the back. Board is still pretty stable, but he's clenching definitely on the back there. Going into it, sheets out right there. That doesn't look so bad. The angle and everything looks okay. Again, you know, critique me if you want. Going into it, okay, let's watch what's going on here. The other thing is he's going to let go of this thing, this wing. Right now the angle is starting to flatten out a little bit, but let's watch his body as he goes. Okay, right there, he's starting to fall in towards, into the turn, and his body's twisted up above. Maybe should have let go of this or kept it sheeted in a little longer, but he's definitely this is taking priority, his backhand on this, and it's forcing his upper body to do that contortion. Boom, right there. He's fallen off a little bit, and he's flattened out, knees are bent, hunched over, kind of out of balance, and he's holding onto that back wing. And let's look at how holding onto that back hand. Now this is the first thing. There's a couple things. Not committing to the turn, so he's not on toe pressure now. He's reaching for that back guy. He's starting to bend, so his weight's starting to fall to lure to the heel side. So let's keep watching this as he goes. Okay, he starts to correct it, but his weight is also kind of starting to fall towards the back of the board. Okay, right there looks, he starts, I mean, the angle looks good. It looks like he's back into the carve. Here we go. He starts to go down a little bit, but still not too bad. Let's go through this next section. Okay, he's coming down. Doesn't look too bad there, but what we're going to see is when we go head switch, not too bad. Hand switch, not too bad. Okay, so this is where things are going to start to go south. So he's come down a little bit, but he's coming off of his toes. You can see his ankles are starting to straighten out to getting heel pressure through the whole thing. Okay, so here we go. He's trying to get that back handle, and I think in some of the other videos I've said is concentrate on the carve. Don't worry about this. So he's going for that back handle. He's kind of trying to keep toeside going, but in order to keep toeside going and trying to get the handle at the same time, he's got this arch in his back. So we're going to really kind of look at this arch in the back and the fight for the back handle versus the fight for toeside pressure. Here we go. And it's really bad there. And the light of safety-wise, I think about the whole time is if he gets heel pressure on that, I mean, if he toe sides and then his body goes over the back, this board's going to go that way. The foil's going to come up and hit him right in the back. So that's one thing I worry about when I watch this video is him going with the wing off the back while his toes force the board downwind and the foil coming up out of the water on the same side as him. Okay, let's keep going with this a little bit. Okay, so I think in the other videos, we've started to go into a downwind angle. So the board he's lost the commitment to the toe side turn. He's starting to go downwind a little bit and he's trying to reach in with this. So it's really going to be hard for him to carve back upwind. And what's happened is he's taken the priority over holding onto the back wing over committing to the turn. Let's watch this a little bit more as he comes around. Okay, again, see what's going on with his upper body is trying to hold on to this wing. If he wasn't constrained by that wing and he was just holding with the front hand, he could get his whole body leaning to the inside of the turn. As it is, he's got this battle going on between his feet, which are continuing to try to hold the toe side turn, and his upper body, which is trying to hold on to the wing. Okay, as we go through, he pulls it in. What would have been cool at this point is if he could have really dug in for the carve, because the angle of the wing is starting to look pretty good. But again, I think a lot of this is going to be this whole him wanting to get that wing back versus getting the turn going. Okay, let's go through it. Again, focusing on the carve and getting up into this direction. So right now, he doesn't have much of the carve going. You start seeing him continue to kind of take up a bias for wanting to hold on to the wing. And it starts to get really dicey here in a second. Again, his whole body, if you look at it, it's arched towards this. So he's doing this battle. I kind of go back to this battle. If his toes lift, he's off the back of that board. Now he's also rotating his upper body to try to get that. Okay, now it's starting to get the carve happen again, but there's a section up here that gets really kind of scary for me, I think. So at this point, he's starting to sail downwind-ish. He's going to flatten the board out. Okay, so he's flattened the board out. His carve is over. He is no longer carving. He's almost like on a broad reach, toe side broad reach at this point. And when he does this, the bias towards one side or the other really gets dicey. If he accidentally falls over this side and the board goes, the whole thing I think about this whole time is if the board carves upwind and he falls this way, it's going to be really not a good fall. Okay, he's kind of side slipping and going this way. So I just kind of go, God, if he were to carve it upwind, that would be, and we'll see that when he finally does get to the carve, what happens. But there's a lot of dicey stuff that happened before that. Okay, so he's pretty much riding flat now. Okay, he's riding flat. The wind, the whole battle here is him trying to carve while holding onto that wing. And he's going to see this contortion of his body continues to do this. Now he's coming up. Again, it's probably gusty. And up in the air, one of the diciest ones is coming up. So again, he's lost the carve. Okay, that is scary to me right there. He's kind of got the carve going, but he is really close to going over the downwind side of that board. And then he's straight up in the air. Got a little side slip going on there. And he starts to bring it back down, but then he's back into that dropping into heel. Okay, now it starts to get better. And he's pulling in. If it carves more, then we get another bias. And the board, let's watch the board. You know, if you go back through this, watch the board and its angle. This drone footage is awesome, by the way. Okay, whoa. Okay, that was kind of cool. So there's been talk in some of the other videos about foot switches. This was pretty radical. He just goes for it. Here we go. So one thing is he's really not in control before he does this foot switch, which I think could make it trickier. Or if he were had completed his jibe, was going upwind a little more, maybe the foot switch would have been easier. You guys chime in. Let me know what you think. Okay, here we go. And he leans back. And look at his body angle. I mean, I look at this and go, geez, he just saved quite a few potential wipeouts. So when he does this, the board could just shoot right out of the air. And so he avoids that. If we just slowly go, if I can slowly go through it. Is it gonna let me go through it? Yeah, here we go, frame by frame. Slow frames. Actually, I'm playing quarter speed, so I can. Okay, look at that, man. He's like gonna fly off the back of this board. But he does a double switch at the same time. So a lot of the videos I've been seeing is, you know, do one, do the other. He does both of them. He's almost airborne here for a second. Boop. And he does the switch. Right now he'd go off the back, but let's watch his front foot. He does an immediate move with the front foot. Boom. Got it up there to get the nose down. But his angle is kind of weird. But he pulls it off, which is pretty amazing, I think. He pulls it off, and he brings it back down. But you're going to see that his weight's too far forward, and we'll watch his leg straighten out so it gets his upper body further back. Again, he's trying to do all this stuff at once, and it's pretty crazy. And it's great to see, because this is going to be me and probably a lot of people out there trying to nail all these at the same time. Okay, there we go. There's the switch. Board is too much forward. He's compensating by leaning back with his hip, moving his weight as far back as he can to try to keep it from nosing in. And he pulls it off. And now we're going to see him start to carve upwind. Right there, look at that. Okay, at that point, he's carving upwind. So everything that happened from the very beginning of the turn until now was just crash avoidance. Right now, he's got the angle back in his board, and he's looking pretty good. And I'd say one of the big things, my big takeaway from this is really prioritizing the wing and trying to get that. This backhand was his enemy throughout that entire thing. Like if he were to be able to get into this position sooner by not grabbing the heel, by not grabbing the back handle, this would have worked out, I believe, a lot better. So now he's starting to straighten out, and we're going to start him see him looking like, you know, he's comfortably in his new stance. Oh, one thing I did want to point out, I don't know if it's that big a deal, but he's going for the harness. Here we go. First attempt at getting the harness line hooked. Didn't get it. Not that big a deal. Second time going for it. Okay, he catches it there. He's hooked in. But I think the lines might be a little long, or the lines, it doesn't feel like the harness is really providing him much strain relief. I mean, this is kind of, you know, a side issue to the jibing thing. But I think it's a bit overpowered. You can notice that his wing is high. So I'm not going to go into that in much more detail, other than let's go back to the beginning. And we're going to look at him going into the jibe again. And so I'm going to say, look, if we look at that, almost like if we go back and we say, right there, things look good. And if you were to keep that carve, we're going to look at this angle right here. If you were to keep the carve going, so right there, things start to go bad. And we're just like a fraction of a second, things start going bad. And it's bad there until he's turned all the way around and going back this way. And we'll see him come back up this way at the very end. So that's good. All the way to there. That's good again. I'm going to speed it up. Because I slowed this down when I took the original, so let's tick it up. So I was running this at quarter speed. Let's go back again. Watch the whole thing happen. Okay, here he goes, cruising along. Okay, there he falls over. He should be letting go or something, or committing to the turn. Now there's the crazy thing, reaching for the back, almost falling over, trying to straighten it out. Oh, trying to get it under control. Falling back over, and then, it looks dicey, so dicey. Really super dicey, almost airborne, almost. It's like the whole carve, you know, the carve is not carving. Now carve, it's when, and he does the foot switch before the carve, which is, I don't know, I wouldn't be comfortable right now doing anything but trying to get it upwind. There he got it. And then there's the weight shift as he comes back into position. And now he starts to carve it upwind. So like right there, looking good. Now what are we looking at? A handful of seconds between here, where things look good. He's actually maybe a little bit weight too far back, and you know, relying on the wing maybe too much. I don't know, you guys chime in on all this stuff. To the point that he pulls it out. So yeah, that's what I got. It was real helpful for me to see this drone footage and to slow it down and go, what is he doing? And these are the things that I am probably most likely having issues with, and a lot of people having issues with. And when you see a pro do it, when you see Gwen do it, you know, he's knocking it out. You know, he just frickin' is. Here, let me go. Now, again, let's get through this stupid fucking thing here. Let's go, boom. When you watch him, he just nails it. You know, he's coming through, and he's talking. Well, I'll let you guys go through his video. It's really good. About the mistakes that are being done during that. I'm not gonna play any more of this. Go see this video right here. I'll put the link in there. This is like a really good one to compare it to the one that I just made. Actually, let's watch him. He goes through. He lets go of that. He just completely gets rid of that handle, and he takes priority over the carve. Carve, 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 carve. Let go. Don't even imagine grabbing it until you get it all the way around. Okay, that's all I got for you guys.